The people of Asia were shocked by the problem of economic collapse, especially financial problem, including our own country, Malaysia. In fact, the Asian financial crisis of 1997-1998 caused unexpected effect and rather drastic change to the Malaysia economy despite having a strong economic base. The effect of the crisis were first felt in the Kuala Lumpur foreign exchange market and the stock market. Between the end of June 1997 and the end of December 1998, the value of the ringgit has decreased by 33.6% compared to the US dollar. Although the government has implemented various efforts to defend the value of the ringgit, the weak value of the ringgit is not able to resist speculative activities, especially in the offshore market. The ups and downs that often occurred in foreign exchange rate have complicating pricing, buying and selling decisions and production planning goods by producer, exporter and importers. This situation has been prompted the government to introduce the selective exchange control policy on 1st September 1998 and the set of the value of the ringgit at Rm 3.60 per US dollar on 2nd 1998. In an effort to stabilize the ringgit exchange rates, this setting involved a depreciation of 34% from the level before the crisis.
Is Malaysia losing out on foreign investment? According to a report by the UN Conference on Trade and Development, Malaysia suffered the worst drop in FDI in 2020 compared to its regional peers. Why is Malaysia perceived as unattractive to foreign investors? How do we remedy this?
Everyone wants to make a lot of money, but only if they can charge others a cheap interest rate. This will make it less attractive for foreign investors to save in a country. Investors will be more interested in other countries with more profitable and competitive interest rates. This is now happening in Malaysia, leading the value of the Malaysian currency to fall. As a result of the crisis, interbank borrowing rates has been rising significantly. This has obvious implications for the rise in interest rate on bank loans to the common public. The rise in interest rates has compounded the problems faced by the general public, especially businesses that are required to pay more loan services. In general, everyone accepts that the region financial crisis is the result of currency speculators' action. It was demonstrated by outflows of around 115 million US dollar from the 5 major countries affected by the crisis such as Korea, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines and Malaysia between the beginning of crisis until it ended on September 1998. The fact is that the West, especially the United States, is concerned that China's emergence as an economic and political power may shift the center of political supremacy and international trade. They are well aware that the long-established network of Chinese business in Asia will become anarchists of China economic progress. In Asia alone, around 50 million people of Chinese heritage have nearly 3 trillion US dollar in wealth and they have suddenly become China's most active investors. Overseas China, an entrepreneur of Chinese heritage, has now formed a partnership with local to explore the international market. Western economic anarchism hope to stymie the progress and exploration of Asian entrepreneurs into the market of China and the new market in Africa, South America and the Balkan country by weakening the predicted Asian market emerged as the center of significant growth of the world economy in the 21st century.
The third factor of Malaysian currency falling is the strength of the United States dollar USD.
UOB Asset Management Chief Investment Officer Francis Ng said the ringgit is set to depreciate against the US dollar by 15 to 20% in the next 3 years on the back of better economic sentiments in the United States.
A global currency means a value accepted by all countries for trade around the world. Most currencies have their own currencies such as ringgit, rupiah, yuan, peso, and more. But there is one currency that is very powerful and used in trade all over the world, which is the US dollar. The US dollar is the king of the world's currency, supported by a good economy and political stability. It makes this money stable. If this currency is affected, it will indirectly affect the entire world economy. The last factor, we're going to discuss how the drop in world oil price will falling Malaysian currency. If the price of oil falls and at the low price, the Malaysian economy will be affected and be able to drop the Malaysia currency because Malaysia depends on the royalty of the market oil price. Especially nowadays, Malaysia is making effort to stimulate economic development, especially after being affected by COVID-19. To make this target being success, Malaysia need income from exporting oil abroad.
Penganalisis ekonomi Profesor Madya Dr. Yusof Saari berkata, sekiranya harga minyak kekal rendah, ia berupaya menekan kewangan kerajaan.
Kita mengetahui bahawa pendapatan kerajaan Malaysia banyak bergantung kepada royalti harga minyak di pasaran. Jadi bila keadaan ini berlaku, dan saya harap ia tidak berterusan lama dan saya harap ia dalam masa pendek. Cuma kita harapkan ia tidak berpanjangan, ya. Kerana kalau dia berpanjangan, maka ia bertanda yang sangat-sangat tidak baik kepada ekonomi Malaysia. Kerana dalam keadaan sekarang ini, dalam keadaan kita nak melaksanakan pakej rangsangan ekonomi pada masa yang mana kerajaan memerlukan perbelanjaan yang agak besar untuk menggerakkan semula ekonomi.
Next, the effect of declining ringgit Malaysia value. The first one is increased inflation. Imported service and goods will cost more as a result of a decline in currency value. This is so that the producer can pass on the expense of imported parts, including raw materials, to the consumer. They will even shift the burden on users so they don't have to deal with the effect of currency devaluation. Due to the current decline in the value of the ringgit Malaysia, consumer will have to spend more money to cover the cost of items. Therefore, if the incident is not resolved, it will result in Malaysians being dissatisfied because of the rise in the price of people's lives and the country's low level of life. Indirectly, this will result in low earnings or income for workers, which will make life miserable for them.
The value of the ringgit shows a continuous downward trend worrying the people because of the direct effects that will be experienced as Malaysia imports many products from abroad, especially food. In 2021, Malaysia imports 51.4 billion in food products compared to total export of 38.7 billion. Malaysia have seen chicken price soar up to 15 ringgit per kilogram, despite the royal side has set a sale selling price of 18 ringgit 90 cents. This is because most of the chicken feed source import from abroad soar in price from 500 per ton to 1,900 per ton, which are mostly made from grains such as corn and soybean. Russia and Ukraine is an exporter of 1/3 of the global grain needs. According to the Governor of Bank Negara Malaysia, Malaysia will not face hyperinflation because of government policies that set selling price for essential goods and subsidies are given to transportation fuel. The value of Malaysia export is also more than imports, and Malaysia will have an account surplus exceed 75 billion for 2022. The Minister of Finance said foreign investor concerns are a temporary factor which contributed to the depreciation of the ringgit.
So, there are many factors contributes to depreciation of ringgit Malaysia, either external or internal sources. As we know, Malaysia had facing this financial crisis about 18 years ago, which is between 1997 and 1998. That moment affected by the Asian financial crisis that happened to the certain country in Asia. This is why Bank Negara Malaysia play as an important role as a solution to control back the Malaysian currency. This effect will make people realize and will motivate them to always be aware and find out about the currency matters. Furthermore, people must understand about the importance of economic because the effect of depreciation affect the economic movement. The result of it are different, depend on the categories. From this, we can conclude that different group of respondents facing a different things. This is why the analysts consider as something beneficial to us because we can learn and understand the importance of depreciation of Ringgit Malaysia.